Let's give our praises to the Most High, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which in the ancient Hebrew is the Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders of GMS who taught us this truth by the Holy Spirit. Honors to the brothers risking their life and freedom to push the gospel. Peace and blessings to the elect, who would be the so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, according to scripture and prophecy. The elect will be one third of the Israelites, who in the last days will return back to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to receive salvation. Why the two-thirds of Israel who don't turn back to the Most High in time be destroyed with America? And that's all according to prophecy. We back with another lesson through the mercy of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And I think I'm going to title this lesson Golden Statue of Trump Holding a Digital Currency Looks Like Daniel, the third chapter. So again, the title, Golden Statue of Trump Holding Digital Currency Looks Like Daniel, the third chapter. Now, within the past few weeks, past couple months, a golden statue of Trump was set up at the Capitol. And not a real statue of gold, but gold in color, set up at the Capitol. And the significant point about the statue is he's holding a digital currency. Now, we're going to show the videos and then we're going to get into the scriptures. And we're going to link it to Daniel, the third chapter. You see the title, Gold Trump Statue Appears on National Mall. Down here, golden statue of Trump holding a Bitcoin, that's a digital currency, has appeared on the National Mall. So let's look at this real quick.
Well, President Trump has a new statue, and it's standing along 3rd Street Northwest across from the U.S. Capitol. Students from Liberty University drove it into town. They came up with the idea for the 12-foot Bitcoin-themed statue, which took about 5 weeks to complete.
That's the theme, Bitcoin-themed statue, or in other words, a digital currency-themed statue.
This is a statement. This is to show to everybody that without the president, we could never have had this mass adoption of Bitcoin, of the cryptocurrencies, of all these big institutions buying Bitcoin. And it shows that's the future, and this is our thank you, our statement to the president.
The statue's arrival coincides with this afternoon's announcement regarding the interest rates that were cut by the Federal Reserve.
Anyways, the focus ain't about Trump. It's about what he's holding, the Bitcoin, a digital currency. Now, let's show this other video. See that Trump statue holding the Bitcoin appears in U.S. Capitol. And yeah, this is a statue. And again, he's holding the Bitcoin, which is a form of a digital currency. Now, as cool as this may look, as creative, as friendly, inviting as it may look, this is really something sinister, because this is really they plan to bring about this cashless digital society. to bring about the mark of the beast system. That's what this really represents. That's the significance of this Bitcoin, this digital currency that he's holding. Because part of their New World Order agenda is everything will go digital, cashless. But what's going to link you to that digital cashless society, that New World Order, it would be the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. And that RFID microchip will be your digital wallet, digital ID, your criminal history, medical records, job history, your resume, everything about you, your house key, your car key, everything. So that's the significance about what he's holding. That's why I say, as friendly as it look, as cool as it may look, they had the peaceful music. This is really something sinister, because a lot of people gonna die behind this mark of the beast system for refusing to comply with it. Some of us believers gonna die not well, we're gonna die for not complying with the mark of the beast system as well, some of us believers. And we're not gonna comply because we got the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So that's the significance of what he's holding. It's a digital currency representing the mark of the beast system. Now, a lot of Americans are overly emotional, easily distracted. So I'm sure they're not really paying this statue no attention, not really reading into it. Because the thing about Trump, you either love him or you hate him. So you're going to have some people, they look at this golden statue, they're going to be proud of it. They're going to be filled with pride. They're going to like it. They painted Trump in gold, so they're going to love it. You got some people that's disgusted by it. They like this racist, they hate it. But paying no attention to what he's holding. Because again, Americans are overly emotional and easily distracted. But when you read into it, even the way he's holding it, kind of like he's holding it, above him. Because the New World Order, this cashless digital society, this mark of the beast system is bigger than Trump. Trump is just a small player to bring about this New World Order. Trump may be the guy to bring in the mark of the beast system. That's what it's looking like. Now, people may say there's no big deal, but when you look at this picture, you would think that the Bitcoin, the digital currency, it's a big part of life here in America, and really is not. Most people is not dealing with Bitcoins and digital currency. A number of people are, but most people not. Bitcoins and digital currency have no everyday use in America, something that people do in their spare time. So again, looking at this, you would think this has everyday use here in America, but it really don't. So why is Trump now holding a dollar bill or a stack of money or a money bag? Why he now holding a debit or a credit card or maybe a bar of gold? Out of all the things he could be holding out, why a digital currency? Because this is what's coming. And he might be the man to bring in that mark of the beast system that's going to force America into a cashless digital society. Now, also, the golden statue itself, what's the most famous record in history concerning a golden statue? It'll be Daniel the 3rd chapter. Everybody know the story. The 3 Israelites who refused to bow down to the statue, so they got through in the fiery furnace. That's what came to mind when I saw this. So we're going to read that, then link it, to this here. King Nebuchadnezzar made a gold statue 90 feet tall and 9 feet wide and set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. And we know the Babylonians, especially Nebuchadnezzar, uh, they were really proud and how they conquered Jerusalem. Just like Trump today, he's a very proud individual. And what he say? He set up the golden statue in the plain, meaning out in the open. And that's where this is set up at, out in the open, for everybody to see and for everybody to admire. Then he sent messages to the high officers, officials, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and other provincial officials to come to the dedication of the statue he has set up. And this has nothing to do with the statue, what I'm about to mention, but we know Trump just had that top secret meeting in which he called in 800 top generals and colonels in the military. He called them in from all over the world. Why? Because he's a proud individual. He feel like no matter what you're doing, he's so important that everybody needs to be gathered to him. And that's what Nebuchadnezzar did, calling in all these officials and treasurers, calling everybody to him. Trump just did that with the military in a way. It says, so all these officials came and stood before the statue King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald shouted out, people of all races, nations, and languages, listen to the king's command. When you hear the sound of a horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and other musical instruments, bow to the ground to worship King Nebuchadnezzar's gold statue. Anyone who refused to obey would immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. So at the sound of the musical instruments, all the people, whatever race or nation or language, bowed to the ground and worshiped the gold statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. But some of the astrologers went to the king and informed on the Jews, meaning they told on him. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, long live the king. You issued a decree requiring all people to bow down and worship the gold statue. When they hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and other musical instruments. That decree also states that whoso refused to obey must be thrown into a blazing furnace. But there are some Jews, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whom you have put in charge of the province of Babylon. They pay no attention to you, your majesty. They refuse to serve your gods and do not worship the gold statue you have set up. And see that? Had certain Israelites who refused to worship the gold statue that had been set up. Now, we got a gold statue here that's been set up. But it's bigger than Trump, it's bigger than the gold statue. What is he holding? A digital currency. That's what's being set up. That cashless digital society, that new world order, that's what's being set up in this lifetime. Again, it's bigger than the statue. It's about the system that they're about to bring into the world. Now, let's look at this word set up. When we look at it in the Hebrew. And for set up, it's H6966. So for set up, it says to arise, to come on the scene, to stand. The golden statue is standing, but it's bigger than that. It's about a system. Now, similar words, it says to establish. So what are they trying to establish? This cashless digital society, this new world order. It's a whole system that they're trying to establish. Now, as we go back to Daniel, the third chapter, well, matter of fact, we're going to move somewhere else. So, yeah, some of the word for set up would to be to establish. So, back to Daniel 3 and 12. When it says they pay you no attention, they refuse to serve your gods, and do not worship the gold statue you have set up, well, what they're trying to set up in this lifetime will be that cashless digital society, that new world order. And what's going to plug you in to this cashless digital society would be the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. But again, it says the gold statue you have set up, and they setting up that mark of the beast system right now, and it's pretty much ready. That's why when we come to the book of Job 16 and 12, it says, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. So what does it mean I was at ease? Right now, you people at ease. You know, you can travel where you want, go where you want, when you want. You can spend your money how you want. You can hide your money, have some in the bank account, have some in your wallet. You know, put some in the safe. You can, you can spend your money how you want. That's the people being at ease right now. It says what? But he hath broken me asunder. This is mentally. Esau is breaking you people down mentally right now. Inflation, tariffs, things super expensive. You know, your wages, your salary don't match inflation. It's hard for people to get a job or to keep a job. Everybody being fired or laid off, replaced with AI. That's Esau the white man breaking you people asunder. Everybody's going homeless, living out of their vehicle, living out of a storage unit. The government just shut down. Who knows how many more people gonna go unemployed because of that? Who knows how many more businesses and occupations, gonna be affected because of that? Tech jobs, hospital jobs, everybody in the healthcare, pharmaceuticals, the federal government, everybody losing their job, everybody going through it. Losing their Section 8, losing their food stamps. That's Esau the white man breaking you people asunder mentally. He hath also taken me by my neck. So Esau got the people in the chokehold with this economy. Esau got his foot on everybody's neck with this economy. It says, and shaking me to pieces. Let's look at this in the Hebrew, shaking me to pieces. Shaking me to pieces. H6327. It says literally or figuratively break to pieces. So figuratively, Esau is breaking the people to pieces. That's what it means when it says he hath shaken me to pieces. It says what? And set me up for his mark. So that's why everybody is struggling right now. Don't know what they're going to do to survive. He's setting you up for the mark. The mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast system, this cashless digital society, the digital currency that's going to be linked to the mark of the beast microchip is already prepared. And that's why Trump is holding this digital currency out in his hand. He's ready to give it to you people. He's ready to bring in that system on you people. The system is ready. The people not ready. But he got to finish prepping you or finish setting you up mentally for this mark, to take the mark. So you want to put the people in a bad enough situation in which they're struggling, they desperate, really willing to do anything to get some kind of comfort and relief. And the relief is going to come in the form of that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So yeah, it says, he has shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. That mark is the mark of the beast. And we're going to go there, the book of Revelation 13 to 16. And he calls of all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's what I got right here. This is the mark in the right hand. Your digital wallet, ID, your digital key, digital passport, your medical records. There's going to be a tracker and a locator as well. And this is the mark in the forehead, these different brain chips. And what's significant about the mark of the beast? How they going to enforce it? That no man might buy or sell, except he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's how they're going to enforce it. That you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to get paid. You're not going to be able to shop, pay your bills, buy the essentials, unless you got the mark. Now, back to the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter, something I want to mention. When it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they refuse to serve your gods. Well, when you get this RFID microchip, to have access and to use this digital currency that the government is going to roll out, in the eyes of the Lord, that's like you worshiping another God. When you get these microchips implanted into the body, that's like you worshiping another God or serving another God. Serving another God don't always look like you bowing to a statue, praying to a statue, bringing gold and silk and diamonds before a statue. It don't always look that way as it did in the ancient world. Serving other gods today, worshiping other gods, is what you give yourself over to, what you become obedient to. But let's show that real quick. So we're gonna get this word to serve. That's H6399. And if I'm correct, they're not gonna give us too much here, but we're gonna get it. It says to minister, to serve, to worship. But let's look at this word serve over here to the right. So the word serve, it says to work for, to be in service of, perform duties for, to be employed by, to have a job, to obey, to be obedient. So that's what it means to serve. How it would look in this lifetime compared to the ancient world. So when you go back to Daniel 3 and 12, it says Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they pay no attention to you. Your Majesty, they refuse to serve your gods. And we're going to refuse to serve this mark of the beast system. We're going to reject the mark of the beast system. So we're not going to be employed in the mark of the beast system. We're not going to have a job in the mark of the beast system. We're not going to work for the mark of the beast system. We're going to perform no duties or be no service to the system when they roll it out. Why? Because this is the top form of idolatry. And what proves, because getting the RFID microchip and planting to the body, that's your ticket to the lake of fire. When you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 9th through the 11th verse. And the thing, when you go back to this decree, that Nebuchadnezzar had made, you issue a decree requiring all the people to bow down and worship the gold statue. Another word, decree, would be a mandate. Remember the mask mandate, the social distancing mandate, the quarantine mandate? Well, this RFID microchip, that's going to be a mandate. All the mandates that they was doing, that was practice for the mark of the beast system. How they going to enforce it? Because remember, Revelation 13-16, that no man might buy or sell. That happened during the pandemic to a degree. If you didn't have a mask or if you didn't receive your medicine and your poke in the arm, you couldn't go into certain restaurants. You couldn't be there. The people that was getting the medicine, they didn't want to be around other people who hadn't been medicated. Well, all that's going to come back into play with this mark of the beast system. And back to the third chapter, it's going to be a mandate, it's going to be a decree. It says requiring all people to bow down. So this mark of the beast system is going to require all people to become part of this cashless digital society. That's why when you go back to the book of Revelation 13-16, it says, and he calls of all. He's going to mandate it. He's going to require it. He's going to mandate or require or cause everybody to get this mark, that RFID microchip in the right hand and in the forehead. And back to Daniel the third chapter, it says all the people, whatever their race or language or nation, bow to the ground and worship the gold statue. That's going to happen here in America. Everybody, regardless of race, nation, language, they're going to worship this statue. Not the statue, but what the statue represents. Representing the New World Order, this cashless digital society, this mark of the beast system. And what did it say in the 12th verse? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they pay no attention to you. Meaning what? The elect, us true believers, the true worshipers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're not going to follow the mandates. I guess I mentioned the digital currency is going to start off on your phone. Maybe some kind of an app like Cash App, Venmo. We can go along with that. It's not forcing us to receive anything inside of our bodies. But when they mandate that you must be microchipped in order to continue to use the digital currency, we're going to pay these devils no attention. We're not going to comply. We're going to refuse to serve their gods. And to serve meaning to work for, to be employed, to be in service of, to perform certain duties. We're not going to comply. We're not going to serve or work for their mark of the beast system that they setting up. He gonna cause everybody else to do it, but the true believers, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they not gonna do it. So I thought it was really interesting to see that this golden statue of Trump appeared and what he was holding. Because again, you would think that a Bitcoin is a big part of life here in America. It's not a dollar bill. It's not a credit card. It's not a phone or a tablet or whatever else people use on a daily basis. Most people's not using the Bitcoin on a daily basis. So why did he choose to hold that out of all things? Because this is what's coming. The system is already ready to go. They're ready to roll it out. They just got to finish setting up you people. That's Job 16 and 12. He hath breaking me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck. He hath shaken me to pieces. So Esau the white man gonna continue to put hell on you people and continue to break you down mentally to set you up for this mark, the mark of the beast. To receive that microchip, to use the digital currency that they're gonna roll out. So yeah, this is very significant. Ain't nothing to look past. Very sinister. This might be the guy to do it. Revelation 13, 16, and 17. We pray that he is the guy to do it. Now this is the book of 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan is just a spirit, but the spirit of Satan is on who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So lest Satan, Esau, Edom, the white man, should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. They say known is half the battle. If you don't know, you already lost. And that's the advantage that the white man to get over you if you cannot know what he's doing. But we're not ignorant of his devices, his evil plans, his wicked schemes. We know every move this devil make as he's doing it. So, yep, this is the lesson. Golden statue of Trump holding a digital currency is looking like they need a third chapter. Lord willing, that was informative. And until next time, Shalom.